Hey guys, what's up? This is Matrix Ninja bringing you an item guide video. I didn't think I was going to do one of these, and I realized that a lot of people, when they just start League of Legends, are reluctant to play because they keep losing. And a lot of times they keep losing because they don't know what to build, or they build incorrectly, or don't build at all. So I thought I would do a video on exactly what you should build in different positions. So when you start the game, you should always be buying items with the initial 450 gold you have. And the items you start depends on which role you play. So if you're playing a tank, you usually want to start with, you usually always want to start with Dorans. Dorans is like the start items for every lane, except for support and jungle. So if you're going tank, you might want to start Doran Shield because it allows you a lot of good defense with health and good sustain with the regen, as well as blocking auto attack damage from other champions. So this is a good item to start with if you're tank, such as like Garen or Mundo or Malphite. If you're an AD, like AD carry or someone else like Lee Sin, if you're going top, or Talon or other AD champions, you want to start Doran's Blade because it gives you that health versus additional defensive stats. It gives you the attack damage, so your auto attacks and AD scaling abilities do more damage, and it gives you life steal, so you have more sustain in lane. And if you are a mage, such as Ziggs or Veigar or Ryze, well, Ryze is an exception, but like I don't know, Morgana, even if you're playing your mid, you might want to start Doran's Ring because it gives you that extra health, so you have more defensive stats. It gives you a lot of ability power for a 400 gold item, and it also gives you mana regen, which you usually need if you're a mage who's spamming abilities. Its passive also restores mana upon killing a unit, so the better your CSing is, the more mana sustain you have. Also, once you start a game and you start recalling, or you get low and you want to come back, you should always buy an item, whether it's a small item like a rejuve bead or a big item like a BF sword. Lots of money. You always want to buy something. So even if you like just go into lane and you get shoved out immediately and you only have like 150 gold, so you don't have enough for really anything, you can always get health pots, and health pots are really good because you can allows you, if you're able to ration them and use them, like stack them efficiently, you can have a lot of effective HP, and it will keep you in lane when you should have backed. So they're really good to have if you're against a high poke lane or just in general. Another thing that you should always be getting are wards, either stealth wards or vision wards. These allow you to see parts of the map that would normally be shrouded by the fog of war. So what wards do is they allow you to keep track of enemy players, as well as your lane if you're going to get ganked by a jungler or anything of that sort. And it allows you to gather information about what your enemy team is doing, so you can make effective decisions on what you should be doing yourself. So wards are probably one of the biggest things in League of Legends. Like, you have to know how to ward. So health pots and wards are good things to buy, and you should always be trying to buy the largest item possible that still runs with your build. So if you can get like a pickaxe or a longsword, you should obviously get the pickaxe because it has more for your money. So also, if you're trying to get a pickaxe or something, but you've been ganked over and over and over again, I would actually avoid getting the pickaxe and get like 2 small items, so that way you can pick up wards so you don't die to ganks. Now, a lot of people don't know what to build, so I'm going to go over all the different types of items. So you have health. Health just increases your maximum health. So it increases the amount of hit points you can take. Armor reduces incoming physical damage. So when champions build AD, like AD carries or offensive like bruisers type of stuff, you should build armor if they get ahead, because it will help reduce the damage you take from them. Magic resist is the same thing, but for mages, or magic damage. So, and ability power, so it helps you against if there's like a fed mid laner or AP jungler that got out of control. Health regen is just basically self-explanatory. Just, you know, regenerates your health. Tenacity is different. Tenacity reduces the effects of CC on you. So if you get silenced or blind or immobilized, taunt, feared, stunned, slowed, whatever, it reduces the duration or the effectiveness of it. Hey, so
find your center.
It's good for if you're against really high CC teams. Now, if you're trying to build into the offensive tree, you've got damage, which is just attack damage or physical damage. You can tell, so it increases the damage in your auto attacks, and it increases the damage in any AD scaling ability. So you can tell if an ability is AP scaling or AD scaling by if you hover over it. You can see that there's little bonus numbers that are either orange or green. And if they're orange, it means that it scales off AD, and if they're green, it means it scales off AP. So you can decide whether or not whether your champion builds AD or AP by hovering over your abilities and checking the majority of the abilities that scale off which type. So seeing how 3 of his 4 abilities scale off AD, that means that Lee Sin, this champion that I'm playing right now, is an AD champion, and you do not build ability power. Now, you have Crit Strike. Crit Strike increases the chance that you deal double damage. So, you know, everyone hears of crits if they've played games before this, so crit is basically pretty self-explanatory. You can also check how much crit you have here. So right now I have 0, but if I were to buy some crit chance, if I were to buy this, then my crit chance goes up to 10. Okay, after crit chance you have attack speed. So attack speed just increases the speed that your auto attacks take place. So you deal more damage, or you deal the faster, you attack more often. See how right now I'm doing 0.65. If I buy an attack speed item, like a recurve bow, now I'm at 0.85. So it just increases how often you attack. And then you have lifesteal, which is, it heals your health by a percentage of the damage done. So if you do 100 damage while you have a Vamp Scepter, and you have 8% lifesteal, you're going to be getting 8 health back. So lifesteal is really key for lane sustain and other like long fights, like sustained fights between people like Aurelia and Vladimir, like low damage, but they have damage over a long period of time. So lifesteal really helps in those fights. And then after lifesteal, you go into magic damage. So you have ability power. Ability power is like if you're a mage, and it will scale your abilities pretty hard. Like my Lee Sin W is my only ability that scales off ability power. So if I were to get ability power, like let's say a needlessly large rod, it increases my shield by 64. So my shield doesn't have that great of scaling because it's just it's just like, I don't know, it's so you don't get stupidly OP with you build a ton of damage. So they have a scale off a different type, but it increases your shield by quite a bit for only one item of AP, and it's not even a full item. It still builds into things. So ability power scales way faster, like way faster. I'll just say that. But it also does not scale your ability or your auto attacks. Your auto attacks will still be doing the same amount of damage, a little amount of damage. So after ability power, you have cooldown reduction. Cooldown reduction reduces the cooldowns of your abilities. So like right now, this costs, or if I use this ability, it takes 10.45 seconds to be able to be used again. So if I get cooldown reduction, now it's only 8.8. So it makes it so you can use your ability powers, or your abilities faster, and it increases your damage output. Spell Vamp is whenever you deal damage with an ability that deals AP damage, you heal for a percentage of that amount. So if I was a mage like Ziggs or Vladimir and I was doing AP damage, then I could get Spell Vamp, and whenever I use one of those abilities, I would be healing. So after Spell Vamp, we have Mana. Mana is, like, I'm Lee Sin, so I don't actually have Mana. But Mana is what you use to cast your abilities. Like for me, since I have energy, my Sonic Wave / Resonating Strike deals 50 energy or 30 energy. So in a different champion that has mana, instead of costing energy, it would be mana. So by increasing your mana pool, you can use more abilities before you have to back or you run out of mana. Mana regen is basically just like health regen, except for it regenerates your mana instead of your health. So mobility is really important in League of Legends. So having high mobility, like a champions like Lee Sin, allows them to do a lot of cool plays and allows them to outplay other champions and become really strong. So boots are a pretty big deal with champions. So getting boots is something you want to do early on. You just get like boots of speed and increase your movement speed, which just means you walk faster. So you usually don't upgrade second tier boots until later on in the game because they don't give you any combat stats, and usually you're in laning phase, like when you're fighting another person in lane. So not having combat stats when the other person does puts you at a disadvantage. It can even cost you your life. So you usually just get tier 1 boots, and then later on you upgrade to tier 2 for whatever type you want. Like you can be really fast with Moby boots, or you can have increased attack speed, or cooldown reduction, tenacity, and MR, magic resist. There's a lot of things like magic pen is also a good thing. In fact, magic pen wasn't even on this. I guess just because it's passives. But magic penetration is if they have 15 MR and you have these Stork shoes, it's as if they had no MR. So it just penetrates through their magic resist before it deals your damage, so you can have more effective damage. So there's also other movement speed items, but usually boots is enough, and that's generally all you need. So those are all the different types of items. Now, even though you know what the types of items are, you sometimes don't know what types of items you should build on your specific champion. So what you can do for this is you can go to builds. And what builds do is you can go to like Mobile Fire or Solo Mid, and it just tells you different types of items you should take, runes if you're further enough into the game, different masteries you should take, or different leveling in your items, and different masteries. And then generally it goes into depth about the champion itself and why you should be doing these things. So builds are a really good way to tell. But another way you can tell is if you go into League of Legends, you can, and hover over a champion or click on a champion, you can see its stats. And these are fairly accurate, even though they can have some flaws. But it can tell you generally what type of items you should be building on each champion. So having high attack damage or having high in the red bar means you generally will purchase AD or physical damage items. Being high in the blue bar generally means that you're a mage and you'll be purchasing lots of ability power, cooldown reduction, mana, other things of that sort, like what mages would purchase. If you have really high green, which is survivability, it means that you're a tank and you build items like Sunfire Cape, Warmogs, other defensive items, other defensive stats like armors, magic resist, that help with tanking damage for your team. The purple bar isn't really anything, it's just the difficulty of the champion, and generally is pretty far off, so you don't really have to pay attention to that. So after that, that's about it. Like, you just have to know what your champion does and exactly what you need to build for your team specifically. Another thing is, if you have to build, you can't just build the same build over and over and over again. You have to build it based on your team and the enemy team. So if your team is based out of a lot of really, really squishy champions, squishy means like no health or no defenses, then they probably need a tank. So if I was playing someone like Lee Sin, I can build damage, I can build sustained damage, I can build tanky DPS, and it's just damage per second, and I can build pure tank. So if my team was really, really squishy, I might just go like full into like the health and armor, or like magic resist and health or something like that. Like just a lot of tanky items, which allows my team to have a tank to take damage for them. Another reason why you have to alter your item builds is depending on the enemy team. So let's say that they had a really strong Ziggs. Like super fed, your mid lane sucked and fed him a ton. You probably wouldn't build much armor, because armor wouldn't really defend you against any of his damage. So you'd build a lot of magic resist, so he doesn't just blow you up as easily, and which will allow you to use your damage and increase your damage output, and it'd be just better for your team in general. So that's something you always have to take into account, is the enemy team, your team, and what your team needs, and your champion specifically. So besides that, you just have to look at the items and think build what you think would be the best. So thanks for watching, guys. If you liked or learned anything, which I hope you did, please like, subscribe, leave comments about what you want to see in future videos, and how often I post them, because I don't want to be posting a lot of videos if no one has the time to watch them. So if you guys could give me some feedback on what I need to do to improve, that would be great. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.